Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Jeff here once again to talk to you a little bit about something that's pretty interesting, but it's the term neocon. There's a lot of people that call people neocons which is, i.e., new conservatives. These are people who were supposedly liberal at one time but became conservative. Some of them are. There are people who can be considered neocons, who are actually at one time were liberal but became conservative. But I've basically always been conservative in my beliefs since I was about 12. That's when people start to realize most of life at that age. But the majority of people who are called the majority of people who use the word neocon use it almost as a slur against people who are conservative and don't agree with mainstream establishment Republicans. And all of a sudden, that's all of a sudden a dirty word now. A mainstream, average conservative, as opposed to establishment Republicans. They're still good Republican senators and congressmen and politicians as a whole out there. So you can't give them a bad rap. But the ones that there are pundits who are neocon, and some that are actually just plain conservative. And the example of a neocon, he'll suck up to somebody who's normally a conservative won't associate with. Those are generally people who are neocons. I'm not a neocon. I hate to let people in on it that don't like me, that on both sides of the fence. I mean, there's conservatives that think I'm a neocon because I don't like country music and I'm not into hillbilly reality shows or don't listen to Sean Hannity or any of that. I just don't like Sean Hannity. I think he's the real rhino out there. I mean, if you ever paid attention to him, you know how he sucks up to some certain celebs that he likes just because they're country singers. I don't mind when the only time I've ever listened to him is when Charlie Daniels. That's about the only country singer outside of the Mandrell sisters I can stand. Well, outside of the Mandrell sisters and Toby Keith that I'll listen to. Most of the rest of the country singers are liars anyway. But the point I'm trying to get here is that the term neocon is used as a slur because they want to establish the fact that they want to say, well, one time you were liberal. Yeah, when I was about 6, that was when most of my idealism was around. But most people learn about idealism that it doesn't pay the bills and it's not all that great it's different ages. I learned it when I was about I'd say probably when I was about 15, 16, that it doesn't always, maybe in my 20s, it's been so long, but you can't rely on idealism in our world. That's what neocons are. They just won't, I'm a little jumbled here, but most neocons are people who, if you take a look at the word neo and con, neo for new and con, shortened version of conservative. Most people who are conservative because they choose to be, not because they want to be. But there are some people that just act like they're conservatives when they're around conservatives and act like liberals when they're around liberals. I mean, that's pretty disingenuous if you ask me. I mean, If you're liberal, be a liberal, for crying out loud. I'd have much more respect for you. And, but if you're a conservative, be a conservative. I mean, but that's about the end of it, and I'll let you go. Have a nice day.